The EB-5, or investor visa, was created in 1990 as a path to legal residency for foreign nationals who wanted to enter the U.S. to engage in and invest a large amount of capital into the U.S. economy, and also to create new American jobs. Because it requires a minimum of $500,000 and in some cases a $1 million investment in order to qualify, it's fairly rare. Basically, there are two potential paths an investor can take to apply for an EB-5. The first one is the traditional program, which has three basic requirements. First, the individual must invest at least $1 million or $500,000 if it's in an area that has been designated as a high priority region. Second, the investment must generally benefit the U.S. economy, which an immigration lawyer can help you to prove through documentation. And third, the investment must create 10 full-time jobs. The second option for investors is called the Investor Visa Pilot Program, and it was created in 1993 to encourage investment in certain geographic areas in the U.S. that had applied for and received a designation as an EB-5 regional center. In order to qualify as a regional center, a city or region needs to apply for that designation with USCIS. And one example is this past January, the governor of Michigan, Rich Snyder, announced that he will be applying for EB-5 status for the entire state of Michigan. But there are hundreds of other smaller areas that have been designated throughout the country. The main difference between the pilot program and the traditional program is that the requirements are slightly less stringent in designated regional centers. For instance, the investment doesn't have to directly create the 10 required jobs. Instead, it's enough if 10 or more jobs will be created as an indirect result of the investment. One important issue to remember is that the investor does not have to create an entirely new business or enterprise in order to qualify. Instead, the investment can go towards an investment in an existing enterprise as long as it expands the net worth of the business by 40% or increases the total number of employees by 40%. Another question we get a lot is whether it's sufficient for an investor to just send the money as sort of an angel investor and then abandon his or her role within the operation. And it's not. They need to continue to be involved in some kind of managerial capacity within the organization, and at a minimum need to be in a policy-making position. The evidentiary standards for the EB-5 are extremely rigorous, and there are many ways the application can be denied. Therefore, investors almost always require qualified legal counsel in order to prepare the application properly. If you're interested in learning more about this application process and its requirements, give us a call for an initial consultation.